Republican and former Happy Valley Mayor Lori Chavez De-Remer flipped Oregon's newly redrawn 5th Congressional District, defeating Democrat Jamie McLeod Skinner last November. The 5th stretches from the southeast suburbs of Portland. It includes the majority of Clackamas County and into Sisters in Bend, including all of Lynn County. Also includes rural parts of Marion County. It leans slightly Democratic. Representative Chavez De-Remer has been quite active in D.C. during her freshman term and so far has outraced her opponents in her bid to keep that seat in Republican hands. Representative Lori Chavez De-Remer, welcome back to Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken. Glad to be here.
Well, you've had some bipartisan successes, including recently the bill to upgrade VA medical facilities. It brings $523 million for the VA in Portland. You worked with Democrat Suzanne Bonamici on this. You're also working with Democrat Andrea Salinas on the Agriculture Committee, which you are both on. How hard is it to do bipartisanship in this political environment?
You know, we get asked that question all the time, and I've been asked probably pretty consistently, what my goals were when I came here, and that was to represent the entire district. I have mentioned this over and over again. When you are a mayor of a growing community, you learn very quickly that representing everyone is important to your community, your values, what your goals are. I carried that same message here when I came to Washington. So working with my colleagues from Oregon's delegation, I think was important to do. Again, I sit with Congresswoman Val Hoyle on transportation and infrastructure, Congresswoman Salinas on agriculture. As you mentioned, we did have a bipartisan listening session for the Farm Bill. I mean, I think that proves the hard work. People are expecting me to reach across the aisle, and I should be held accountable for that. And so I have a good track record of doing just that. But not only with the Oregon delegation, I'm doing that with other members of Congress as well. I just recently sponsored a bill with Congressman Carbajal from California in regards to the child tax credit and making sure that we can expand that for not only employers, but also employees, because we find it harder and harder for childcare to be addressed. It's the high cost of living, so that was an important issue. But the Portland VA, being a lead on that, hundreds of millions of dollars coming back to Portland to address and help out our veterans. So that bill will create a new specialty care facility. It will help seismic upgrades to what's there now. I mean, over 95,000 veterans visit there every year. So now my focus, now that we've secured that funding, is to focus on Central Oregon and for our Central Oregon veterans because they want access to, and I get those calls often. So it's not hard. It's easy. People expect it. We have to be accountable, and I'll continue to keep my head down, work hard, and work with my colleagues across the aisle.
Your seat is a prime target for Democrats trying to take back the majority in the House. McLeod Skinner is running again. Their state rep, Janelle Bynum, Metro Council President Lynn Peterson. How important is it to you that Republicans keep this seat in Congress?
Well, I think what's important is to be accountable to the voters. The entitled mindset that because it was in Democratic hands for over 25 years that they should just deserve that back. Well, they'll have their own race. But for me, again, there's a lot of work to do. People call my office all the time, Democrats and Republicans, independents. They want to know, am I doing the hard work that they've asked me to do? And I believe with the grassroots support, with the bipartisan leadership that I'm showing as a Republican member of Congress, the voters will reelect me. I have no doubt about it because they know I'm the best fit for the seat.
Earlier this month, the House approved the defense appropriations bill that includes rollbacks on Pentagon policies regarding abortion, transgender health care, and racial equity. You did vote against amendments to prevent the Pentagon from creating a position on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Also to deny funding to change Confederate names on military bases. So why did you break ranks on those two amendments?
Well, again, this is exactly what I was alluding to. I'm an independent thinker, being pragmatic and thoughtful for every decision that I have to make and how it represents my district. And so, you can't be a rubber stamp for your party. I don't think anybody expects that. What they want us to do is be thoughtful. And my team weighs in on all of these things that are important to my district. So anytime a vote comes up, whether it's for NDAA, whether it's for FAA reauthorization, whether it's for anything that is going to be important and to Oregonians, I'm going to take it to heart, because that is exactly how I was mayor. It's how I'm a mom. It's how I'm a business owner. And I'm going to keep my values, and I am going to speak up when I need to speak up for Oregonians.
I remember our prior conversation while you were running for this seat, and you specifically opposed critical race theory when we last talked. What's your opinion of what Florida is doing in teaching Black history, and do you see that as being an issue in other states?
My goodness, this is what I think is important: the values of all Americans. Our education system has been lacking in Oregon for a very long time. I want to make sure that we're focused on paying attention to that. I sit on the Education and Workforce Committee. I asked to be on that committee. I wanted to be part of what does it look like to educate all Americans. This country is the greatest country on earth, and we have to make sure we teach our history. We have to make sure that we teach our children and the future generation the value of being an American, and that's what I want to focus on.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is floating the idea of an impeachment inquiry into President Biden, partly based on recent Hunter Biden revelations. Do you think President Biden should go through an impeachment process?
Well, I think what the speaker addressed, and he's done this publicly, and he's talked to us in conference, certainly. I think what we want to make sure of is that the questions are asked. Again, that's what Congress does. We do investigations. About 8% is what you see on TV. All of us are working very hard in our committees. I don't sit on those committees. But I think what the speaker is saying to the American people is, if there has been any sort of corruption, or if there's been any sort of questioning that the president is compromised via his son, shouldn't the American people want to know what that looks like? So we have to go through the process, and that's what those committees are doing. So an inquiry is a little bit different. It's asking the questions. I get calls to my office. I get asked, what should we look into? And I think that that's what's happening on all these committees: the Oversight Committee, Judiciary Committee, and those committee chairmen are doing the job that they've been asked to do by the American people. That's why it's important, I believe, to pay attention. I'm asking everybody to pay attention, but to make assumptions of we should go right to an impeachment process, the key word being process. Let the committees do their job.
You and Democrat Jared Moskowitz of Florida started what you call the bipartisan sneaker caucus. I find that very interesting, especially with this being the home of Nike and the North American headquarters of Adidas. Why a sneaker caucus?
Well, there was a couple of reasons. Congressman Moskowitz has been a great partner in this. And I'll tell you, he's a big collector of all sneakers. For me, I have quite a few sneakers, but mine was about comfort. Mine was about style. Mine was about being flexible. But you know what we talked about? It brought us together, bipartisan work. It starts conversations. You've heard Congressman Moskowitz talk about that. That day in the Capitol was great. Not only did we have members of Congress, but we had staffers. We had everybody come together, visit about it, and it opens up conversations. We have to continue to do that. Last night as well, I want to reiterate the bipartisanship, and it might sound cliche, but it is very important, and we do good work here. Several of my colleagues and I last night had dinner with colleagues on the Democratic side. Let's have dinner. Let's break bread. Again, that used to happen. It doesn't happen often enough. So I invited Congrwoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. I thought it was important. Pacific Northwest. She's right across the river. We have commonalities in who we're representing: timber, the droughts, the environment, those things. We serve on the forestry subcommittee together, but we needed to get to know each other. I'm a mom. She's a new mom. There's experiences there. So the Sneaker Caucus does that, but also reaching out, breaking bread together, I think is important as well.
Yes, if I was in Congress, I would want to be part of the Sneaker Caucus. I'm really partial to all white Air Force Ones. So
there you go. I have those too. I have those too, Ken. I wear them, as you saw in that clip, with my blue dress there. Very comfortable, walking 14,000 steps a day. It definitely helps.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming back, Representative Lori Chavez De-Remer. We appreciate you being here on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thanks, Ken.